Hey, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to TCG Madness. And today is part 2 of our Grand Archive case break. If you're not familiar or didn't watch part 1, I'll leave a link down below in the description box. You guys can go watch part 1. Today, though, is part 2, and we have, let's see, we got 9 more booster boxes to go through today. So in this video, we'll be going through the rest of the case break of Grand Archive. Part 1, we didn't really do that big of a splash, didn't hit any of the big hitters that I'm looking for. Hopefully here in Part 2, we can finally pull a signature card. I would love to show that off here on this channel. It would really be extraordinary to pull one of those today. So today, Part 2. Before we go any further, while I have you guys' attention, if you guys can just do me the big favor, hit that like button. If you're new, consider hitting that subscribe button. This is a channel, all TCG, all the time, nothing else here on this channel. And now, onward to part 2. Alright, you guys, just like it was in part 1, no face cam, just me doing the voiceover, pretty much giving you guys a play-by-play, and we will be speeding it up as you guys can see right now. Here is box number 9, and for this video, we're going to be doing it a little bit differently than we did in part 1. I'm not going to slow it down as much. I'm pretty much just going to let this thing ride out. We will only slow it down for the big hitters. Of course, at the end of this video, I will be giving you guys a full recap of the remaining of the case, giving you guys how much money, again, was spent, recapping part 1, and then giving you guys the full breakdown of part 2, and then giving you guys the dollar amount and seeing if we are successful at breaking even or not, because in part 1, we really didn't make a whole lot of money, so hopefully here in part 2, we do a little bit better. And of course, don't forget, guys, please hit that like button. If you're new, consider hitting that subscribe button and comment down below if you guys want to see more case breaks as well, because I thoroughly enjoyed this one as well. So here we go, going through. We got a Spirit of Serene Wind, good card to pull. And again, there is a Dawn of Ashes. Again, I'm not slowing it down for every single card, just only the ones that are just the big hitters. And again, you guys can clearly see there weren't a lot of cards in this set that had over that $10 range. It's only the big hitters, and those are the only ones I'll slow it down for, and you guys can see those one in its entirety. So here we go, just continuing on opening up these packs. Again, I kind of did it like mega packs. I pretty much stacked all the packs on one side, cut it open very carefully, by the way. And then, of course, just you guys are seeing what I'm doing now, just completely just ripping right through these, going as fast as I can. I feel like this was the best way to honestly do a full case break. That was me shuffling up the cards. So you guys can see right here, yeah, I'm cutting them open. Then we're just going to go ahead and stack them up in the nice, neat little stacks. And then we're pretty much, just like I said, we're just going to do mega packs. I had a lot of fun doing this too. There's nothing like doing a case break. Normally I would never do a case break like this, but for the sake of the video, I kind of felt like it. And I actually realized like this is a lot better than how I would normally do it, going box by box by box, doing very slowly, but you know, ripping open pack open by pack open, and then just eventually getting through this video. So for the sake of this one, I was like, there's just no way I can do that. So continuing on, again, I'm not slowing it down for any of these you know, SRs, the URs, unless it's expensive, but that's the only one I'll slow it down for, $10 or more. And there you can see a Blanche Sheltering Saint. I pulled a lot of her, by the way. I pulled like 6 in here in part 2, so that was really good because that's like an $8 a card, so almost close to slowing it down, but again, I can just tell you guys right there, and there's going to be a lot of those in throughout this video. So what I really want to showcase, like I said, in Grand Archive is, again, that secret art. The secret collector's rare art. That is just top of the line art, and hopefully we pull one here in part 2. Alright, let's see if box number 10 has the card we're looking for. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's the card I wanted to show off for you guys. I actually ended up pulling one, and I couldn't be happier. Now, I want to show you, or share with you guys, my live reaction to me opening up this card. Looking too good for me. Oh! The Majestic Spirit! Holy shit! Wow! We finally pulled one. Holy crap! Did not think we were gonna get that. Oh, that's the signature card I was waiting for. There we go. Be very careful with this. Oh, baby, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. So you guys can hear clearly pumped, and there's the reason why. This is a $251 card. And you can see what I'm talking about. See how beautiful the artwork is? Very reminiscent of Weiss Schwarz style art. It's gorgeous. I love it. Couldn't be happier, and I'm so glad I finally was able to pull one. I do think, and I'm going to talk about this in another video later, but I do think if you buy a case of Grand Archive, I think every case, 6 boxes, 18 boxes, 12 boxes, should have one of these signature cards in every case. Now, to be clear, nothing else is going to really top that, and which is, again, why we are just going through this as fast as we can here, because that's really what all I wanted to show off was that card. And now the other question just becomes, do I get this, graded? Do I send it to PSA? Do I just try to sell it and recoup a lot of my money? It wasn't one of the waifus that I wanted. I really wanted one of those cards, because I think those are over time are going to hold much better value. And you can see too, like in set 1 versus set 2, Fractured Crown versus Dawn of Ashes for Grand Archive, there were very limited collector rares. In Fractured Crown, out of 18 booster boxes, in this case break, there are, I think, like 8 or 9, maybe 10. Maybe it might even be 12, actually. I'll have to double check that. But there are way more collector rares in set 2 than set 1. That's where I'm going with this. That's why I think going forward, there should be one in every case break that we do. There's no reason to, you can make some of them very expensive, you can make some of them very cheap, and just pick the ones that are more expensive, harder to get. The other ones, not so hard to get, like that one. That's a $250 card. That one should be very difficult to get. Alright, moving on now to box number 11. Here we go, another fat stack of cards. Stack them up nice and pretty. Do the old quick shuffle there, and let's go right into it. So another thing too I want to note about this booster set was their foils. Their foils were not very expensive as compared to set 1. I think that's one of the biggest tragedies between the two sets. Set 1, great foils. That could be just because set 1 had an unlimited run and a first edition run. So if I had to guess, I'd say that's probably why. I want you guys to also comment. What do you think about stuff like that? I see a lot of booster box trading card games, collectible card games, they kind of do that. Like, there are some games that don't do it at all, and there's some that do. They do like a first edition, and then you do like an unlimited set. Personally, I'm not a fan of it. I think there should just be either just one set. No first edition, no second edition, no unlimited print, just one set for all. I think that's just, we always get like these people that do it, and then sometimes you see these market prices, they're ridiculous for like first edition set, and then you get the unlimited, and the market's just complete crap. I don't get it. I think there should just be one set and one set for all. And then you also get 2 different types of booster box prices and stuff like that. Personally, I'm not a fan of it. Just one price for all, I think just to me makes the most sense. But you guys can let me know in the comment section. And hopefully by now it's pretty obvious. You guys can see I'm not really slowing it down a lot for you guys, because there really aren't a whole lot of cards worth high value dollars here. Like nothing worth $10+. There's another Blanche Sheltering Saint. That's a pretty good card. I think she runs in about like 70 bucks right there. There's really only a small handful. The Incarnate Magistry, and that's really about it. The other cards I did not actually pull. Like if you actually go look on TCG Player and you go to Grand Archive, you look up Fractured Crown, and you put high prices, highest to lowest, and actually not pull any of like the $15, $20, $30 cards. And that could be just because I did get the collector's rare, the signature rare card right there, with coming in at $250. I mean, that's a third of what I paid for this entire case, so that's probably why, and I'm okay with that trade-off. So there you guys can see, even in this booster box, we actually get 2 $14 cards, and again, that's pretty good stuff there. You take that. That's kind of what we're looking for. But really, what it came down to is like these foils and that collector rare. If the foils were just a little bit better, you guys will see at the end of this video, could have made some serious dough. But again, I'm still just happy to just have that one collector's rare. And again, the question is, do I get that thing graded or not? Because it's not the one I wanted, but it still is one of them, and kind of want to keep it. All right, now we got a new stack of cards here. We're going to go through these very quickly. Here we go, just going right through it. Blanche Sheltering Saint, another great card to have. Now that $7, $8 card. Want to keep getting those. Ocean's Blessing, pretty foil there. I do think their foiling does need to get better, though. I've made that abundantly clear at this point. So just keep going right through. I do want to start bringing you guys some deck techs. As I was opening up a lot of these booster boxes, I love doing this too, like getting ideas for new decks and new decks to build and stuff like that, which is just, my bread and butter. So I will be bringing you guys some deck techs here very, very soon. We'll probably start off with some of the starter decks and how you guys can upgrade those starter decks for a budget of $20 so you're not breaking the bank. Love doing budget deck techs first before we dive deep into, you know, the deck techs that are, you know, the main decks that are very expensive, of course, because, you know, not everybody carries around $100, $150 for a brand new deck all the time. So we'll stick with some budget decks first, and we'll dive deeper into the, you know, meta type of decks that are going to be obviously more expensive. And by now, if you made it this far into the video, first of all, thank you so much. Second of all, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and please hit that notification bell so you guys never miss when I do a video. Because of course, I'm starting to drop a lot more videos, starting to get very more active. Kind of took a little bit of a break December, January, but now we're in full swing here, so trying to drop at least 2 to 3, 4 videos a week for you guys. And yeah, this channel is all about trading cards, nothing more, nothing less. It's what you're going to get. You may get some opinionated videos, but it's always going to center around trading cards, collecting cards, all that kind of stuff. If that piques your interest, please hit that subscribe button. Go check out some of my other content as well. Hope you guys have been enjoying this video and enjoying this case break. And if there's anybody watching this video right now and you're a player or a fan of Grand Archive, I want you guys to comment down below. I'm just curious to see how many of there are you out there. I know there was a couple of people in the last video and in the first booster box opening of Grand Archive that I did. So I'm very curious to see if that audience has grown or if it's pretty much stayed the same. So once again, not a whole lot going on here. Just going to keep moving along. And now we're going to move into box number 14. So we're moving along here. We're getting towards the back end. 4 more boxes to go and we are all done. Because again, there's 18 booster boxes in this case break. I don't think, maybe other than Card Fight Vanguard, has more booster boxes in a case than Grand Archive. Because that's a lot of booster boxes to have in a case. And don't forget to stick around to the very end because that's where we're going to be doing a full breakdown. And of course, I'll have chapters put in at the end of the videos and stuff like that. So you guys can just skim through if you like. I know not everybody wants to see the full, like, whatever this is going to be, 15-20 minute video. And hey, look at this card. And there we go. Nice little $10 pull right there. $10.75. Not bad. So as I was saying, stick around to the end. You're going to see the full breakdown and see the disparity between part 1 and part 2, because obviously part 2 is going to be way better than part 1, just because of one card. One card alone did way better in part 2 than it did at any point in part 1. Part 1 would we make like $200, something like that, and obviously here in part 2, one card obliterated all that, so you're going to see the big disparity, and there were a lot of good high value pulls, and I'm probably going to make another video breaking down some pull rates and stuff like that, so you guys can get a good glimpse, and it's just more the reason why I think if you were looking for a secondary card game to play, I've said this so many times now, we'll get right back to that thought as I pulled another good card here, $17.99, Rite of Realm, good card, good meta card too, so as I was saying, I've been saying this now for a while, I think Grand Archive is easily going, and it should be your secondary go-to card game. Could it be a main card game for you? Sure, there's plenty of people that I'm sure that's their main card game, but I personally believe that this is tailor-made for anybody out there looking to get into a new card game but doesn't want to break the bank. What I mean by that is when you get into a new card game, the first thing that comes like into your mind is like, oh my god, how much money am I going to start spending here? That's the first thought that comes into your mind. I think Grand Archive is the perfect mix of, yeah, there are some expensive decks out there. Of course there are. That's going to be every card game. But for the most part, even the most powerful cards are inexpensive. And I think that's what makes this game so appealing. You can build a pretty good, above average to almost great deck without breaking the bank. And that's kind of where I fall in line with the whole argument with first edition run versus unlimited. I guess the only really good side to an unlimited print is that it's going to make the card prices ridiculously cheap, and that's good for anybody looking to play this card game. That's why I think ultimately Grand Archive should and could be your number 2 card game. It also has a different style of mechanics and the gameplay. It's very different from any other card game that I've seen or played before, and it does make you use, like, every card freaking matters in this game. And again, I will show you guys some deck text, and probably at some point, if I wish they would come with a digital version, because then I can actually show you guys some real gameplay, and that's another video I want to make. Every card game should have a digital version attached to it. This way it makes every card game accessible to everybody, because there's not many people who know about Fractured or no, excuse me, not Fractured Crown. There's not many people who know about Grand Archive. You know, it's up to us as YouTubers, even with a small platform like mine. You know, if I can get 3 or 4 people to spread the word, then those 3 or 4 people spread it to a couple people. Then next thing you know, you got 5 or 6. Then those 6 people spread the word. Next thing you know, you got 20, 30. Then those 30 spread the, you know what I mean? Like, that's how it snowballs down, because I do think this card game, it should be a little more relevant. It's a great card game, but that's why I think it's ultimately could be your number 2 game. If you're a Yu-Gi-Oh player, this card game speaks directly to you guys. There's a lot of traps and a lot of manipulations that you can do in this game, perfect for those Yu-Gi-Oh players. All that with none of those damn hand traps. Let's be honest, we're all getting sick of those goddamn hand traps. I know you Yu-Gi-Oh players are. Even your most die-hard Yu-Gi-Oh players are getting sick and tired of those hand traps. Don't deny it. Don't lie. You know it. I know it. I read the comments on a lot of TikToks, a lot of YouTubers, all that kind of Instagram, everything, man. Trust me. People are getting sick of that. And I've said it so many times. Yu-Gi-Oh does need a new format, and a format that actually caters to that specific audience that's getting tired of it. Let's just be honest. It's getting really annoying to build an entire deck all to be negated every time, and to see just OTKs just flooding everything. Again, I know there's some people that still like it. I'm not speaking to you at all. Trust me. I'm speaking to the ones that I've said, and I know there's a large part of that community, the Yu-Gi-Oh community, that's like, yeah, I still like Yu-Gi-Oh. It's a great card game. It's still my main card game, but man, I am getting sick and tired of this. Alright, you guys, we are now getting to the end of this video. We're on our 17th, and this is actually the final box. So don't forget, I actually opened up one of these boxes a while back in what, December, late December, early January, somewhere around there. And then that's when I asked you guys, would you want to see a full case break? And you guys all said yes. So as we get to the end of this video, there's one last final question I want to throw out to you guys. How many of these card games do you guys think are going to survive? We have a lot of card games now out there. There's you know, if you have a specific niche target or a specific flavor of the month that you're feeling, you can pick and choose any one of these card games now. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I personally think it's a good thing, but how many of these games are going to survive? I don't know the answer to that question. I can't imagine that all these card games, given 5, 6, 7 years from now, are all still going to be here. Only one card game comes to mind most recently that broke to the top. That was Disney Lorcana, and One Piece, actually. I'll throw One Piece out there as well, because that card game is definitely here to stay, no question about it. Alright, you guys, now for the recap for parts 1 and 2. Part 1, $211.91. Part 2, $584.31. Total value, $796 and some change, for a good profit of $22.22. Pretty good, all things considered, and all thanks really to just one very expensive card. Well, there you have it. That concludes this little series of a case break of Grand Archive Fractured Crown. That is it. 18 booster boxes completed, and very, very happy with one very beautiful pull. You guys can see. I'll go ahead and bring it up. Let's see if we can get that into focus. I mean, just take a look at that card, guys. It's a beautiful looking card. I really love the signature artwork here. Again, it's not the one I would have wanted. I really wanted one of the waifus or the Crawl Stone Tyrant Dragon. That one's a really good looking artwork, and that's actually cheaper than this one. But again, I'm still very happy with my pulls nonetheless. Let me know what you guys think about Grand Archive as a whole. See, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just slowly build up a player base, a community, and try at least help spread the word. Because again, like I said in the video, I don't want these card games to go under. I like the fact that we have a bunch of these card games, but I know realistically that they're all not going to be here in 5-10 years. Maybe they will be. Maybe I'm wrong, but realistically thinking, I'm just like, I don't see it. I can't see it right now. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get into some of these smaller card games, because of course a lot of these mainstream card games, there's a million and one channels that do Pokemon, that do Yu-Gi-Oh, that do Digimon. I know that's still my bread and butter. One Piece, all that kind of stuff. There's a million and one channels that are going to do that. I want to try and to differentiate myself from other YouTubers, and one way to do that is to talk about these smaller card games such as Grand Archive, such as Altered TCG, Dragon Ball Fusion World when that comes out, which is going to be very, very soon. And if there's any other card games, we'll talk about a little bit of that too. Star Wars Unlimited, that's another card game that's coming out. I got my eye on as well. I'm still going to, stick to my main bread and butter, Disney Lorcana, One Piece, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, that kind of stuff. I'm still going to stick to it, but I do want to help spread the word about these other smaller card games, because Let's face it, they don't have, hundreds of thousands, 500,000 subscriber YouTube channels talking about these type of card games day in and day out. People are just going to talk about the ones I just mentioned previously. And I do think Grand Archive is one of those card games. Like I said, I mentioned it a million times. I'll sound like a broken record, and I do apologize for that. But I do think Grand Archive can and should be your secondary card game. And I'm going to make a full video talking about Grand Archive. I'm going to do a good, the bad, and the ugly. I hope you guys are excited to see that video. It's going to be dropping here very soon. Just going to do a little bit of a deeper dive into Grand Archive, things I like, things I don't like, and things that worry me. So if you guys are interested in all that, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you guys never miss when I do a video. And again, hope you guys have enjoyed this little mini series I put together, part 1 and part 2 of this case break. I am going to try to get to more case breaks this year because I really do enjoy opening up a bunch of these cards. Happy that we still made some money. We're not losing any money by the time you break it all down, you sell all this stuff. You'll actually walk away with, some $30, $40, and I get to keep the cards that I want ultimately. So that's it for this video, you guys. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll see you guys next time.